This is just a little note. This video was originally banned in the United States, so I re-uploaded it, and here it is. I'll probably make another video about that because it was very telling. All right, enjoy. Recently, an artist named Mitch O'Connell put up a Trump billboard with some art that he had made for the 1988 film cult classic They Live. And it was put up in Mexico City because it was denied in several US cities. And I'm probably going to do another video about that in the future. But it helped me realize that I needed to do a video about what I believe is an infiltration of the human race. So I thought, what better way than to use this wonderful, awesome movie? So here we go. John Carpenter's cult classic film They Live is probably one of the most fascinating alien takeover films of all time. It stars Roddy Piper, who is a man who, when he puts on these special sunglasses, he can see the subliminal messages that are being frequency driven into our minds and keep us dumbed down and not having any individual thought so that we stay asleep and they can continue infiltrating us.
Basically, what our spin on the story was that all the aliens are members of the upper class, the rich, and they're slowly exploiting the middle class, and everybody's becoming poorer, and everything we think about buying cars and having pools and condos and all the things that everybody strives for basically are created by this race of inhuman creatures that really just want to exploit us.
I feel like more than that, in today's society, our systems are not just broken, they're designed to fail. Our system of education does not educate. In fact, it teaches us authority. Our healthcare makes us broke, doesn't make us healthy. Our water is poisoned. It's got fluoride in it. Our food is being turned into GMO, and they've killed the farming systems. Our air is being polluted. There's nothing that is okay about that. And it's not just, oh, we let it get out of hand. I think it's something deeper. And I think John Carpenter tapped into it in They Live.
Maybe they've always been with us. Those things out there. Maybe they love it. Seeing us hate each other. Watching us kill each other off.
The world needs a wake-up call. We're gonna phone it in.
What do these things want, and why are they here?
They want benign indifference. They want us drugging. We could be pets. We could be food. But all we really are is livestock.
And we really are considered livestock, or just as important as livestock anyway, according to the UN and other agenda-having factions. And various rich folks, elite, if you will, have been talking about overpopulation and mass genocide of the planet for a long time. It's not a secret. So let's watch this scene. This is the first time he puts on the glasses in They Live, and it says obey. Of course, when he takes them off, it just has a computer advertisement. And it's actually very telling. It says we're creating the transparent computing environment, and it's by a place called Control Data. Truth Stream Media has a great bit about this part, but let's move on. It doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. Why would it say obey? You know, no independent thought, and then consume. These words continue throughout the movie. Now let me show you this. So what you're about to see is an actual broadcast of a sign-off, a station sign-off from the 1960s. and it's been subtitled, but you'll see the subtitles are just helping you read the text that is rearranging. It's one of the better known subliminal messages that's ever been found. So that was an actual station sign-off from the 1960s that was played every single night that everyone basically watched before they went to bed. My question is this: how did they know the efficacy of that sort of subliminal messaging? It was obviously intentional. The obey, consume, government, God business. It was very cryptic, but it was also very simple. All of that suggests a higher understanding, a far sophisticated knowledge of how we intake information, how well words passing over images like that would affect us, how deeply it would be rooted. That suggests an understanding of manipulation of consciousness.
We are living in an state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Here's another example. So this woman, this was in 2012 or so, found this subliminal message quite by accident. Or was it an accident at all? Because I think it could be a higher spirit, a higher power in these kind of cases. But check this story out, it's fascinating.
This is a picture. This picture accidentally happened because my daughter insisted on this new Facebook photo that I have to have. The photo that we were going to put on there was not going to be from this phone because I can't send any photos or transfer any of the information, pictures, text message, whatever. I can't send it to anything because I've reduced the service on this phone. So we were going to take it on another camera.
Okay.
So by accident, I pushed a button on this phone, not even thinking anything about it.
So you're holding the camera?
I'm
and you're taking a
holding
picture
the
of yourself?
camera so I can get good lighting. And by chance, I push the button. I end up getting this photo, which is a picture of the TV. Of course, we were watching the news. TV is roughly a 60-inch TV,
Okay.
so it's
Huge
it's
TV.
it's huge TV.
Okay.
But the wording is probably a good portion of the size of my head, anyways.
Okay.
And it's written backwards.
And what does it say?
Kill. Now, when I actually seen this photo, it was probably a week after I'd taken the photo. We weren't really expecting to take photos on here, so I didn't think to search through them or even look at it. So I was laying in bed one night thinking to go through the phone, anything that I don't want on there as far as photos or anything, just to delete it. And that's when I came across this one without realizing that I had taken it and noticed that I had caught subliminal messaging on the phone.
And how did you feel when you saw that?
I said, this is the crap that my kids and I are watching every day.
I mean, were you freaked out? Because like just
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
that picture,
Oh, yeah.
I'm very creeped out by it.
Oh yeah, I showed several people who said, yeah, right, how did you do that?
The possibilities would be the image came off of the phone somehow and was
photoshopped. So,
Can't.
I mean, like, why can't it?
Because I have my service reduced on this phone, so I can't send any text messages or receive any picture messages at this time. I haven't been able to do that for almost a year.
So there's no way for a photo to go onto or come off of that phone aside from clicking the button.
No, that's why we weren't gonna do any of my Facebook photos on here. My regular camera, I can't.
Okay.
This phone, I have no way of
Can I see
transferring.
this phone?
Yeah, I have
Okay,
no
so
way of
there's-
transferring any of the information.
This is a Cricket phone, and it just has this is basics. I mean,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
a-
bare minimum.
yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Do you mind if I take the?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get a picture of this picture. Take the back off of this phone and show. There is taking the battery out. There is no SIM card. There's nothing. I mean, we got the sticker here. There's no SIM card. Here's a volume button right here, and there's no place for a card or anything like that. It's got an internal memory, right? So as far as that goes, this picture had to come from only this phone and no other technology.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about technology today is that anything is fakeable, almost. You know, and it's great that you have such a crappy phone. This is the only way
Yeah, it can't be faked.
to show that. I mean, that's amazing. That's
Yeah, like I said, the chances of it were probably like winning the Mega Million lottery that just
even just
happened this
catching
past
the
week.
photo.
Yeah, exactly.
But then just to have, I mean, like, so honestly, so lucky to have it on a device that can't do any of the stuff that most phones can
Yeah.
do. So what else could it be? Like, it can't be a faked photo. So it was on the television. What could that be on the television aside from subliminal messages?
A movie advertisement,
Okay.
commercial.
Why would it say kill? You know, that's something I can only see from a movie advertisement. However,
Yes, it's written backwards.
Yeah,
It's written backwards.
exactly.
It's 100% subliminal messaging.
The human eye can see, it's debatable, but it can see between 28 and they say about 35 frames per second is what we can perceive. That's on a conscious level. In anything that's faster than that, anything flickering faster than that, our subconscious would pick up, but our conscious mind wouldn't even catch it. Televisions, like the networks, used to transmit everything at 24 frames per second. Then they jumped up to 30 frames per second. Now they're transmitting stuff at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. You get those TVs now, when you look at the bottom of a TV and it says 120 hertz HZ, that means that it is flashing 120 pictures per second. Now when the human eye only sees 28 to 35 frames per second,
Yes.
why do we need technology that's transmitting 60 and 120 frames per second?
Obviously, they don't want you to see everything you're actually watching. Just like taking this photo. There's no way I could have actually watched for this photo. And if you look, my back is actually to the TV.
Yeah, that's probably a 1 in 10 million shot.
Yes,
I can't.
yeah,
I've
definitely.
never seen anything like this. I mean, like, and I have researched subliminal messages for, I mean, solid for like a year at least, and I had never seen anything like that before. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you're gonna upgrade your service and let me share
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness.
I find it very telling that he used the word annihilation right there, because that's what antimatter does with matter. It annihilates, and that's what CERN is doing every single day. And not just CERN, but all of the places they're like that. It's a lot. Their end game seems to be finding dark matter and dark energy, which is not cool.
We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain. They are safe as long as they are not discovered. That is their primary method of survival. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.
I love how John Carpenter has the man of spirituality saying the words along with the man who's trying to get through the signal on the television. That is representative of how we think that there is no spirituality. We are all stuck in this superficial realm that we are prisoners of, systems that have been in place for a long, long time. The infiltration runs so deep, the conditioning runs so deep, we don't even know where it stops and where it starts. But I assure you, no matter what they do to us, they cannot take away reality. That is within us all, and it's real. But a lot of us have gone ahead and gotten rid of spirituality thinking it's nonsense. Now's a good time to re-up. I think that there might be something deeper going on. Something that we sometimes tap into. Something that we know very deeply is going on. As for the elite humans, there are other masters that they're serving.
Projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance.
Now, John Carpenter felt he was making this movie as a reflection of the bad government of the 80s that he felt was, very capitalist and worried about the wrong things. I would like to suggest that he tapped into the collective consciousness, if you will, the original timeline before we were hijacked by interdimensional beings that have taken us over at every level of government and moved throughout time and space like it ain't nothing. I think we all know they're here. We all deeply feel it. But everyone says it's absurd. We've been programmed to. But they use the human elite to do their bidding, and they keep them in power. They keep them happy and rich if they play the game. They also keep them intergenerationally incestuous, and this causes a lack of emotion. It actually creates sociopaths when you are sexually abused as a young person, and that's what you know in your life, and that's what the elite do to each other. It's a form of trauma-based mind control, and it's been done throughout history, obviously. It also keeps, the money in the family, keeps the blood blue, if you will.
You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. The human, power, elite.
He said, you've given us entree, as in to eat. And he said, multi-dimensional expansion. Just pointing that out. There are always many layers of meaning.
And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%.
That's a lot of already billions of dollars. But all of that monetary system is a part of their control over us. It has been always. I'll do a video about this soon, but there is a wonderful account of basically elongated skull having people who really own the money for the banking systems. It's pretty crazy.
And I've just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
You still don't get it, do you, boys? There ain't no countries anymore. No more good guys. They're running the whole show. They own everything, the whole goddamn planet. They can do whatever they want. What's wrong with having it good for a change? Now they're gonna let us have it good if we just help them. They're gonna leave us alone. Let us make some money. You can have a little taste of that good life too. Now I know you want it. Hell, everybody does.
Do it to your own kind.
What's the threat? We all sell out every day. Might as well be on the winning team.
This same guy plays the homeless man who turns off the TV because it hurts his head. But I feel like putting the same actor in both roles helps illustrate how we are all being duped. All humans are equally as unimportant to the infiltrators. Now, of course, John Carpenter wasn't right about everything. Obviously, this is an artistic interpretation, but sometimes humans say more truth than they realize they're even saying.
Carbon dioxide, fluorocarbons, and methane have increased since 1958. Earth is being acclimatized. They are turning our atmosphere into their atmosphere.
I think it's possible they don't even need an atmosphere. However, I do think that acclimatizing our planet would be a more accurate term than terraforming, but it means the same thing. Essentially, they're trying to make this place suitable for their living requirements. And I don't know exactly what those are, but I got a hunch they're dark matter and dark energy. Anyway, it's not as simple as how this movie turns out. You can't just turn the frequency off and the aliens suddenly are visible. So Rowdy Roddy Piper tweeted that They Live is a documentary. Yeah, I like that he said that. John Carpenter said it too. And the thing is, it definitely is. It's just on what level, we don't really know. But I guarantee it's a lot closer to the truth than John Carpenter himself even knows.
That's still with us. They Live is a documentary about what's going on now.
Indeed, Mr. Carpenter, indeed. But what is now? Are there many nows going on right now? No, now, everyone. Anyway, so originally I was going to end with showing you the most epic fight scene ever in a movie that happens because Rowdy Roddy Piper's character is trying to get his friend to look in the sunglasses that helps him see the truth, but his friend absolutely refuses to take a moment and look and just calls him crazy, and they literally fight for like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. But when I show that scene, I get blocked in several countries before it even finishes uploading. So go find the They Live fight scene and check it out. The fight scene is a metaphor because all the guy wants to do is get him to wear the glasses, but he refuses. It's just like trying to tell someone about the Mandela effect, or trying to tell someone about Jesus, or, you know, reptilian shapeshifters, or anything like that uncovers any kind of deep knowledge that is like this fight scene. People will defend what they believe in, even if their ignorance is actually hurting them, and they won't see that. It is so frustrating that they don't want to hear it, and they want to remain in cognitive dissonance, and that's their free will to choose that. Anyway, so please find that fight scene, since I can't show it, and watch it, and while thinking of what it metaphorically represents, which is how hard it is to get people to even take a look at the possibility that they've been under a delusion their whole lives. I think it's correct to call the infiltrators aliens. I think it's correct to call them demons. I think it's correct to say that the infiltration itself is evil or is the devil. But we have been infiltrated, and knowing that changes everything. All of my research leads me back to this fact. We have been infiltrated, and it's something that confuses people from knowing their oneness with the divine simplicity. And don't misunderstand me, I'm not talking about something new age. I don't even use those foolish titles. All of the infiltration includes these masks of what's real. They've masked everything about our spirituality, everything about what we're capable of, everything about our oneness with the divine and each other. To keep ourselves separate from this is foolish. And without us coming to a consensus of who the enemy is, we're lost in the dark. We're leaving ourselves vulnerable. The enemy will present himself as the solution. So we best to remember that. We've been duped, the entire human race. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks for watching, everybody. I have a lot more videos on the way, so bear with me. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And as always, much love to you.